It's the one and only, one and only, one and only. Appreciate you, the one and only, man. If it ain't mess, it ain't me. It's Wednesday, man. It's 7:44 Eastern Standard Time. Um, yeah, man. What it do, man? It's the one and only old gentleman, man. Um, Hope y'all had a happy holidays. I pray to God that you close out your year strong and have a positive, happy new year. Another 365 around the sun. We talking about blended families and broken homes. You know, this podcast, if it ain't messy, it ain't me. We talk about a lot of things. Essentially, that's mental health based. So, talk about a lot of current affairs. Excuse me, and things of that nature. Things that's going on in the world today, but we have a messy twist on it. Right now, I'm throwing that vibe, that feeling out there about the blended families and broken homes. I know that's a confusing statement, but they say the powers that be has been focusing for generations and years to break the family unit. You break the family unit apart. That means there's a nucleus of people that are not working together, giving room for Big Brother to subsidize thoughts, feelings, and emotions on what your family should be. Let me see. To that point, I'm on. I got just a little bit of information on stepfamily.org. We call it blended families, but they call it step families. This little article, I'll skip around. But it says the majority of families have shifted from the original biological bond in mother, father, and child. We are now a nation in which the majority of families are divorced. Most go on to remarry or form living together relationships. These families take a multitude of forms. Divorce with children. The children reside with one parent and visit the other. Most are dating or look forward to new parents or looking for new parents. Remarried, recoupled, living together with his or her children. He or she is the role of a step parent. Single mothers, recoupled, dating, and alone. Divorced dads. These dads generally visit their children often and are recoupled, bringing a stepmother figure into the children's lives. Lesbian, gay couples with children form from a prior relationship. They have a bit of information also taken from the Bureau of Census website. 1,300 new step families are forming every day. 1,300 new step families are forming every day, which means, hence the title, blended families but broken homes. This world and this life is not perfect. If you believe in the good book, it says start out with Adam and Eve, the man and woman. The man and woman is supposed to be the institution of this world, the foundation, the pillar of hope, faith and hope, in the name of God. Having faith that there is God and hope that God's going to bring you through, and He brings you through with these instruments, so to speak, left here on earth. So that's kind of alarming, right? That 1,300 new step families are forming every day. That means that's at least 1,300 broken homes. That's a big number with the population of people we have in this world, more especially that we have in the United States of America. Now I'm on census.gov. Just a little snippet of information. It says almost a quarter of U.S. children under the age of 18 with one parent and no other adult is 23% of the population, more than 3 times the share of children around the whole world, which is 7%. So statistically, what that says in America, we have a very high volatile rate of broken homes and restarter kit families, step families. That leaves a big void for for the psychology and psychologists, pharmaceutical medication and hospitalization genre that we have in this world, this niche market. A lot of broken homes brings mental instability. Mental instability spills into this world, and it has its damaging effects. Again, you see more and more and more shooters, out here doing public and mass shootings. You see more and more, and I've seen some effed up people in the military that slip through the cracks and end up going to war, doing some extracurricular things that end up get them dishonorably discharged. So it's amazing that it would take that long for people to slip through the cracks for our government to find them and demobilize them, take them out of action. Somehow our police officers, there's a lot of police officers, they say, they have this intense training, but somehow there's been a high number of police to civilian shootings in this nation over the past 10, 20 years. It's skyrocketed. Everything is skyrocketed. The mental health game is wide open. A lot of people have cause for what they do. A lot of people in the police force saying, we were robbed as a kid, or my mother or father was shot, or they saw something happen to some kids, and had there been a police officer around, or if there was one, a police officer with courage who would have went to that house, who would have stopped that guy on the street, the guy they actually needed to stop on the street, who would have actually, been there in their time of position. But for some reason in this world, these people decide after trauma that they can help fix the problem, and that's dealing, with our armed force personnel, our civil service people. But again, it all starts back at the home. So when you have a society of people that have statistically more broken homes in America than the whole world combined, that leaves a big avenue, like we read earlier, for what we saw was 1,300, new step families on a daily basis. Over 50% of U.S. families are remarried or recoupled. The average marriage in America lasts only 7 years. Oh, we beat the odds, baby. 14 years as of December 25th just passed. We've been married for 14 years. They said the average, now I've been married twice. That one lasted 3.5, almost 4 years, something to that effect. My second marriage almost lasted 3.5 to 4 years, but by the grace of God, we staying in a good fight for what we feel are all the right reasons. 1 out of 2 marriages ends in divorce. Yeah, I am that statistic. 75% remarry. I am that statistic. 66% of those living together or remarried break up when children are involved. Man, they break up when children. So let me go back and revisit that. 66% of those living together or remarried break up when children are involved. So again, we unite these for the most part. I mean, we say family. I don't think that the average person gets together or they say to collude and say, man, I want to be with you for the rest of my life, and nobody wants to have a child. Nobody wants to hit the copy machine and replicate themselves to see if they can, raise, love, cherish, and nurture themselves better than their present version was raised. Everybody feel they can do it better. Everybody feels like they want to see a little them running around and being there and present, in this earth, and going through this world in a healthy situation. But does that say, unfortunately, that these kids were going to go through some initiation, some real trauma, because people don't stay together like they used to? The things that held people together over time has changed. My biggest thing that I've said, technology has changed. When we evolve, when we technologically evolve, the necessity for one another, it changed. I don't need you to go. The woman doesn't need the man to go hunt. The man doesn't need the woman to churn the butter and pick the crops or whatever while he's out, hunting and gathering or fishing or whatever he's doing. You know what I mean? The man doesn't need the woman to prepare, you know, meals. The woman doesn't need per se the man to fix the hole in the roof or hang pictures on the wall. There's kits now on Amazon. There's picture hanging kits. There's laser levelers, DIY books, DIY videos, DoorDash, Uber Eats. There's contractors out there at the drop of a dime who will come and assist you with holes in your roof. Light bulbs that need to be installed. There's handymen readily available through various apps and websites and secure channels, to where we don't have a true necessity. And if there is a needed necessity, again, it's not, it's not for one another in that vein. So at this point, it's like, we're kind of there for each other's entertainment. And if you're not good at entertaining, because when you entertain, you have an audience. If you don't know how to capture and maintain your audience will dissipate. Your fans will leave you. You will be on the stage by yourself, lights, camera, no action. You know what I mean? I said that to say this is a staple thing going on in the home force. This lack of need and era of convenience has definitely affected the way a home operates, from the man and a woman in the relationship before they have children, But a lot of people can, turn a blind eye to those things because, of course, when you have no children at that point in time in the relationship, you're not paying attention to all the little things, and you can kind of still fake it till you make it. You can kind of still move around. You know what I mean? You can kind of still move around a little bit and get through your emotions a little bit better than the average bear, because you don't necessarily have to focus on another entity, a version of you being affected by yours or your partner's decisions directly, right? Say you want to go out to, get something to eat. You can say, babe, hey, you want to grab something to eat? No, I'm good. Or you say, babe, I'm going to run out and grab something to eat. You want anything? No, I'm good. And it's that. You couldn't do that, 50 years ago, 60 years. Bam, going where? You going to the East pasture? What, you going to get you a fresh sheep? You know how long it's going to take to wrestle that sheep up, slaughter that sheep, bleed it out, sanitize it, proper cuts, cure it, and then season it, and go ahead and slow cook this thing to perfection to make sure the meat is nice and savory and tender. That takes hours. That takes all day long. And in a task of all day longness, you find conversation in yourself and communication with God. You definitely find conversation when you come back from that East Far pasture, gathering that sheep and slaughtering that sheep, shaving that sheep, bleeding that sheep. You find conversation and comfort with your partner. And when you do that, that builds a great rapport with one another, a positive relationship, and an overall need. Like, I need to talk to you. I need to share with you what's going on with our property. I need to share with you what's going on with our livestock. I need to share with you, if our crops are growing. I need to share with you if the roof is leaking. I need to share with you if the water pump is not working. Not anymore. No, but the call what's that the little home, the little home shield, baby. Just pay the deductible. Call home shield. I don't want to bother it. I don't want to look at it. I don't give a damn what they say. It's gonna take a week. It's gonna take 2 hours. It's gonna take a day. Just call them. I'm good. I'm gonna go watch the game. Call them. Call whoever. Don't bother me with it. I pay this thing every month. I pay for these home extra extended home warranties. Don't bother me with the nonsense. The conversation and need for long communication, levels of communication, high levels of communication again, because again, your life was on the line. It was again a total sense of dependency that you had in the home that kept relationships together for a lot longer time. Being a bastard child back in those times in the era was, it's a shameful thing, a taboo thing. The one not claimed either through, unfortunately rape or something like that, or he just had a tricky dicky out there slinging pipe and decided it wouldn't have nothing to do with nothing. Outside of that, people stood together. People had their families. People raised their families, and they produced their stock. They had, the average family back then, 10, 8, 9, 10 kids. Getting the necessities was different. You raised those kids because you was raising your team. You was raising your village. There wasn't any home shield. There wasn't any ADT home alarm system. You know what I mean? There was none of that. So let me go ahead and plan ahead. Just how you have financial planning, there was baby planning. Let me go ahead and let me go ahead and fill her on up. Order up. Can I get a refill? Can I get a refill? That you kept the coming, and you had kids and you fought through the ailments and diseases and yellow fever and scarlet fever and swine fever and all the flus, mox pox, chicken pox, smallpox, all those things. You had kids and kids and kids and kids, and you communicated because you knew you needed them. You needed your old lady. You needed your old man. You needed your kids to tend to the sheep, to tend to the cattle, to tend. You need your daughter to learn sewing and stitching from your mom, so your clothes can stuff. Your 1 or 2 pairs of pants that you had could be patched and fixed over and over and over again, because it wasn't a convenient world where you can go to stores and just say whatever, or go to the Goodwill, or just throw them and don't care. Oh, I can go get me another pair of pants. It wasn't that simple back in the day. So you needed your family in these eras of time. There was a high sense of urgency to maintain and keep your family together and keep your family business to yourselves. There was a high sense of urgency, but now, statistically, America has the global rate of the highest divorce rate and the highest single family homes and the highest rate of step family homes. This is a high turnover rate for lawyers, the judicial system. This is a high turnover rate for the mental health people, because again, once we feel we don't need you, we can discard you. We can not only discard your body, but we can discard your emotions. I don't feel like hearing your bitching. I don't feel like hearing your complaining. Dad, what? Mama, you know what? I'm tired. And then we get into the lane of now where it's, he's being toxic. She's being so toxic. You're wearing me down. This is not fun anymore. This is not fun anymore. And again, a lot of these things stems off communication and honesty, because a lot of people weren't fully honest with themselves before they got into a marital relationship. A lot of people weren't honest with themselves before they went ahead and laid down and to have this child. A lot of people weren't honest with themselves after the child came out, that from the mother and the father, that they can handle, that they can handle the task at hand when it came to trying to maintain themselves, maintain their family, and somehow be a positive asset within their community. Because again, your community, you put that energy out, the energy you take from home, you walk out into that world. You walk out to the grocery store. You walk out to the bank, to the mail, to the mailbox, and all that. You interact with people, and you put out these energies and these thoughts. And now these thoughts and energies are now displayed on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and Twitch and Facebook and all the other apps out there and LinkedIn. All these things, all these energies are now put out for people to see and for people to pick apart and give their 2 cents. That wasn't the case 50, 60 years ago, 100 years ago. That was not the case. It took a long time. You had to go to the annual ball, the annual gala, the neighborhood, the county fair. You had to go to church. You had to travel a distance to be seen. You had to travel a distance to be seen to show that you had, or that you were lacking, one of the two. So it took a long time for people's personal opinion to come to your attention and have a, positive or negative effect on you. You just knew to do you and do you in the best way. Pick your crops the way you know how to pick your crops. Till your ground the way you know how to till your ground. Sew and patch your clothes the way you know how to sew and patch your clothes. Make a family quilt. It took a lot of time. There was just you, and all you knew is you was doing the best you could, and that meant something back then. I'm doing the best I can. Now we can pull up online. Not really. You weren't really doing the best you could. Statistics show that you weren't doing the best you could. You could have did better, Mom. You could have did better, Dad. They say revelations come, the seals are broken and judgment is coming. Judgment comes a lot sooner than we think now with this technological evolution. When you think about it, it don't take long to be judged. They got email leaks, social media leaks. They got, leaks. It don't matter. It don't take long to get exposed, get your business aired out, and your hidden truths out there. To either have a positive or negative effect on you. And this determines if you feel like you're still suitable for a family. This determines if you feel like you're good enough to raise and give advice to your children. Again, the blended family and the broken homes. That's quite a, that's quite a situation. Blended families and broken homes. How do you blend the family? How do you go ahead and really say I'm gonna remarry, or for the single parent that's marrying for the first time but bringing the child into the relationship? How do you effectively do these things when most parent, whether it be male or female, who's bringing their child into a new situation, a serious relationship, I'm gonna give my own person. I don't have it, but I'm gonna say 7 out of 10. They don't like nobody saying nothing to their child. Now you coming from a broken situation. You coming from a single parent home, and you're trying to, give more substance to your child. Hopefully, you're trying to give more substance to your soul, and say I want to have a man in my home, in my life. I want to have a woman in my home, my life. I have something that I feel like my child is missing, and you bring them into that home, and statistics show for whatever reason that thing doesn't work out sooner than later. There's a lot of people out there who don't like people talking to their child. As long as you're spoiling and giving to that stepchild a lot, that pretty much covers the basis for everybody. A lot of people say, spoiling them, it doesn't do anything for them, which has its truth. But what's the ultimatum of what's the opposite? What's left after spoiling? It's teaching. Once you get done buying and substituting these things, these lackings that the child may have had, or you may not be doing it for the child. I mean, if we really get down to it, if we really get down to it, you're doing it for that child's parent too. Hey, I want to show you that I'm better than their dad. I want to show you on the opposite sex that you're better than their mom. You know what I mean? So it's a low key, low key competition. You know what I mean? Internal battle that spills over external. You're trying to show the parent that you are that man or that woman, and you can go the extra mile for the child. You're trying to show that child that, hey, you're in a safe place. I don't know what happened. I mean, your mom or your dad, they told me what happened in your past experiences. I'm sorry for it, but I want to be that person for you that takes that pain away and fills that gap. And everybody has great intentions until mom or dad says no, and you say no. They're like, what'd you say to my child? Oh, I didn't say anything. We just talked. Oh, so you just talk. Oh, you talking to my child without me? Well, shit, I didn't do a family meeting when I went out and bought XYZ. When I said, hey, let's go get in the car and have ice cream day, or hey, let's get in the car and go ride and, to such and such theme park. And I just want to surprise y'all. Nobody, it doesn't matter. It didn't matter then, when it's time for serious talk, when there's something was done that was unsavory to the other parent, i.e. that may render some disciplinary action, if you didn't clue or get authorization in from the other parent, that becomes that turns your house into it has a high potential to turn your house into a hostile situation. You know what I mean? A lot of smirks and snide remarks come. A lot of understanding that was in place when things were on the up and up are now out of place, and now there's potentially secret meetings with the parent and their child, outside of you. You're wondering what's going on. You're starting to feel a disconnect. And I think that adds to that statistics that, I think it said 50%. I'm gonna go back and check it out. Let me see. The breakup rate of people, being reintroduced into a situation. I think it adds to those statistics where people, they say, you know what, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to be here. You're not going to have me and my child in this situation. They're not comfortable. Now, wait, you said they were wild and the dad didn't discipline them. He wasn't there. All these scenarios, or the mom, she never cooked anything. The child don't know what a home cooked meal is. The hair was always undone, all these things. So you start saying, hey, we need to wash your hair to go ahead and make your hair look pretty. I don't want to wash my hair. I don't want to. Well, hey, calm down. She doesn't have, that's all right, baby. Daddy got it. Hey, she doesn't have to wash her hair tonight. Just let her do her thing. Just let her explore. She's in a new space in life right now. Just let her explore. We'll try washing later. Let's just let her go to bed and try again at school. We don't want to have her, feeling irregular at school. It just messes up her whole day. So just let her be a little dirty. Now, stepmom, she's burning up on the inside. Like, how are you gonna let this child? You're not being a parent to her. You're being the friend. The stepmom is discombobulated. She's starting to get angry, and feel a little disconnect with the dad because that's his daughter, Okay. So she says, okay, honey. Okay, well, listen to dad. And they say that shit, but, it's like a ton of bricks on the inside. It starts to weigh and it starts to eat. And eat, you know what I mean? It starts to chip away, at some at the viscosity of the home. That oil that makes everything run smooth, it starts to break down. Parts, metal starts to clinging. 13. Think about that. 1,300 new step families are birthed every day with a low success rate. That's insane. But and that's for America. So what are we promoting in America? We know we have the correlations that we have. We have the highest accessibility of porn and sex and things of that nature. We have the highest accessibility of high fructose corn syrups and processed sugars and foods. Here we have the highest And all these things affect your body. All these things affect your energy, your psyche. All these things affect your daily communication with your family members or lack thereof. And it starts to build not a foundation, but you end up start building walls. Once everybody has walls, it gets harder and harder to communicate. Again, I have no necessity for you, dad, stepdad, stepmom, because my mom done gave me my own phone to communicate with her, because she don't ever want me in a situation like I was the last time. My mom done gave me my own debit card, so I really don't need to ask you for no money. Excuse me. I virtually have everything I need as a child that you have as an adult, I have as a child. So you can't tell me what to do. You can't tell me where to go. You're not my mom. You're not my dad. Some of them are bold enough to say that. Others, they say nothing. Their actions just show. Hey, I was talking to you. No response. Hey, did you hear what I said? No response. Hey, John, look, I'm trying to talk to you. I'm going to get off me. I'm telling my dad. Get off of me. I'm telling my mom. All hell broke loose. You might as well have smacked the goddamn kid at that, because you ain't finna get 2 words out your mouth. Now, why is it? I just came home from work. You home? Every time I come home from work, they always got something to say. Every time I come home from work, they telling me. And when you have these conversations with your partner, you start to realize how many side conversations them and their children done had without you. You start to realize how many side conversations they done really had when they start referencing certain things. I'm like, damn, that happened yesterday, or that happened tonight. This is the first time I'm hearing about it. Well, he said, and she said, and he said, and now you're feeling like the outcast. Now you're feeling like the odd man. And don't be the man who's supposed to be the man. Excuse me. Don't be the man. You're supposed to be the man and feel like you ain't got control of your own goddamn home. Again, single parent homes, 27% global ratio. United States, 1,300 new step families being birthed on a daily basis. Men losing control of their house. Females, on the rise, fighting for the equal voice, fighting for the, I can do better by myself, fighting for the I don't need you, fighting for, it's just going to be me and my child. We don't need no other partner. These are the thoughts that's on people's heads when they have or don't have these conversations, because the animosity and the anger starts to pile up over and over and over again when you hold your breath, when you hold your tongue. Again, this is a psychiatrist's, dream. Come to me. Come to me. Bring your insurance. If you don't have any insurance, pay out of pocket. Come to me so we can dive into these things, so we can break this thing up and we can really get into the problem of why you guys are not communicating. He said, she said, he said, she said. No, that's the shit I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. See, there you go again. I can't never get nothing out of my mouth because you ain't really got nothing to say. You ain't got nothing to say. You call yourself a man. You ain't no man. Bitch, you call yourself. This is, you know what I mean? This is the back and forth. You know what I mean? This is the back and forth for homes that we supposedly were created to be a safe space for people, but now it's no more than a volatile, toxic space. And we take these toxic spaces, and what's going on, Law Dog? We take these toxic energies, and we run with it. We'll take the toxic energy faster and run off and fight and build, you know what I'm saying, and build through that type of bullshit versus working through the hard conversation. Hey, honey, I was talking to John earlier, and it just seemed a little bit disrespectful to me earlier. Darren, thank you for coming to me, baby. Thank you for coming to me. As a man, I know it's been difficult for you to work with little Johnny in this transition. I know things started off, we had a great start off, but as you know, as we settled into the situation, I seen he's acting out a little bit towards you, and it might be a little pushback because you're new and he misses his dad, but we need to work together to kind of do things to help integrate him, to let him know that we're loved. He's loved by you, and mommy's still here for him, and even daddy's still here for him. No, we don't do none of that shit. But I just want to talk to you about Johnny again. Look, I'm tired every time I come in this fucking house, you always talk about my son. I'm tired every time I say something, every time somebody say something, you always got something slick to say about my son. I'm so tired of this shit. I'm at work all goddamn day. All I want to do is come home, get a little dinner, goddamn take a bath, and get in my bed. What is the fucking problem? He is a boy. Why can't you act like you never had kids? See, this is the shit I always thought. You told me to trust you. You told me to trust you. How can I trust you and you can't take care of these little situations, but you call yourself a man? You call yourself like, bitch, what we talking about? What we talking about? You know what I'm saying? What are we talking about? And you say, you know what? Because as a man, you don't want to lose control of your emotions, right? You know what I'm saying? Women gonna fly off at the handle. That's just what they do. You know what I mean? They can do that and damn near get away with murder. But the moment a man loses an eighth of his emotional and physical control, then he's a threat. And either a brother or a cousin needs to be called, or God forbid, the police needs to be called because he's moving his arm too much. He's getting into the male is getting there. You've been cussed out. She done came in, put pressure on you. You know what I mean? Put you in all kinds of ill spaces. But as soon as you start to say one little thing, now you see you're a threat to the woman and her child, and now she want to reevaluate her situation, and vice versa. If the woman, says too much about the man's child, then all of a sudden, he's like, what, I don't think, we're going to go ahead and deal with this over here. We're just going to take a break, and I'm going to get with you in a minute. Again, another sense, these timeouts, they're warranted in the psychological mental health world, but it really breaks up the level of trust communication in the home, because again, you're still not operating in a blended family. Right, you come from a broken home. You don't re-enter into the situation. You're not really operating a blended family. There's still always two sides. Where are the stats about about the one side, not the two sides? That's why when you have homes that have a stepchild and these people try to procreate and have their own kids and you try to work through that situation, but there's always an odd man out in the house some kind of way, in the relationship some kind of way, that either lives with you, the other parent, or lives in the house with you. So how do you deal with that? How do you positively, how do you deal in a healthy manner without dividing your home? Because again, we all know when certain argument starts to fly, you then get to find out live, real time, like, damn, they didn't have about 20 conversations without me. I'm late to the party. You ain't giving me no saying my input is not valid. Right now, you just let me speak just to speak. Nigga, go ahead and say whatever it is you gonna say. Look, so from here on, this is what I'm gonna do for my baby, because evidently you're not the man. They gonna and somehow they feel the need to still coexist and live in each other's presence and operate in each other's presence, still pay bills, still do all these functions, but discord after discord is compiled over and over and over again until it comes to a breaking point to where, well, we have another broken home. Because nobody wants to be told about themselves. Nobody wants their kid to be talked about. Nobody wants to take accountability. Nobody wants to take responsibility. Nobody, you know what I mean? Nobody wants to do anything. What we all unanimously want to do is just party and have a good time and stay in a positive space. You know, you're in a toxic relationship again. You need to get around people that's more on your wavelength, more on your frequency. That's the new shit now. The more aware we get of stuff, the more people use that shit against you. You need to get out of this toxic relationship. Get more people that really lift you up and really care about you, because it's all about self-healing, right? You need people that pat you on your back. And when you're wrong, they won't tell you that you're wrong all the way. You know what I'm saying? When you're wrong or when you're out of line, they're not going to really tell you you're out of line, but they may say, well, girl, I mean, and it take a $100 food bill and some drinks to go out versus the person in your home having a honest and earnest conversation with you face to face, and y'all dealing with those truths and reality right then and there. That's such a fearful thing to do in this world, to have an honest conversation face to face right there. Have a passionate, honest conversation face to face right there. No, we got to go out and get drunk. We got to go out and get high. We got to go out and go through all these things with your friends and your family and everybody else, Tom, Dick, Jane, and Harry, for these emotions to finally come out. And who is it with? Not the motherfucker you got the problem with. So now 2 more people know your business. And the problem is what? Still unresolved. Ain't that crazy? The problem is still broken. It's not fixed. The home is still broken. It's not fixed. And meanwhile, the input and information you got around you, no matter how minimal or how major, the seed is still in your head that you're fighting against, that we all fight. You know what? I need something else. I need something. This is not it for me. I didn't picture myself being like this. I never pictured myself being in this situation. I'm losing myself. I don't recognize myself in the mirror. It's all because of this motherfucker. They don't know how to appreciate me. They don't know how to treat me. They don't know how to talk to me, man. I can give me 10 bitches right now and do half the stuff you do. You ain't shit. I don't need you. I can fold my own goddamn clothes, goddamn it. I don't need you. I can make my own oodles and noodles. We saying all this because of a simple, hey man, I had a rough day today. I know it's Lil John, man. I saw that he had some issues going to school, man. You mind if I get in and talk to him and just give a little bit more of a male parental perspective on this situation? Babe, go ahead. I'm so tired of that's why I got you. All positives. Baby, that's why I got you. You go ahead and talk to him, because I'm tired of fighting with him back and forth. That's why we made this union. That's why we are now a new blended family. Talk to him. Put your foot down. He need it. That's why we're here. To use these role responsibilities properly, so the mom is not acting like the dad and the dad is not acting like the goddamn mom. Remember, nurturing and disciplinarian and sternness is supposed to be that balance, but everybody wants to hold all the power. Everybody wants to hold all the cards. And somehow say they all have separate roles. Well, it don't look like it. If you got all the cards and he got all the cards, how everybody's supposed to know their roles? It's damn near impossible. Now, I jumped up to big people conversation, but at the end of the day, when we get down to the little people, it affects the little people. And the little people are getting the ones that get pissed off. They run to their rooms because now they spoiled. They got their own phone. They got their own debit card. They got their own tablet. They got their own TVs. And they ordering stuff online. And they feeling independent. And they feeling grown. And they feel like nobody can tell them shit. They mama or they dad, they biological parent could barely tell them shit. The step parent, you better not dare tell me shit. And I'm going back out to this school world, and I'm going back out into my social world, and I'm gonna let them know and show them how grown I am, and I'm gonna affect them in these things, and we're gonna start to go to these parties and meet these people and vibe this certain way, because this is now my mentality as a child. I'm going out in this world on some fuck you type vibe, because my mom and dad can't tell me shit. My stepdad ain't gonna tell me shit. My stepmom ain't gonna tell me shit. And that's what you're putting out there. And eventually, you got underage pregnancies. You got people on drugs, selling drugs, or you got people now that's out there shooting up schools and shit. You know what I mean? That's what's happening with these broken homes. That's what's happening with these makeshift step families, these new blended families. That's what's happening. Again, that's why the mental health is wide open. That's why the judicial system. Oh, we got another divorce. Yes, sir. Ooh. We got some more child support to put another man on. Ooh, yes, sir. Bring them in. Oh. Part of their family plan. Let's go ahead and send them. You need to do new co-parenting. All y'all, you need family. Okay, so y'all need family counseling. If you know, you know. So I'm gonna make y'all court order family counseling, and then I want individual single counseling for each parent and each child, and then we'll come back in 6 to 9 months and reconvene, go over the notes, and see, if we still need to move forward on this divorce, or if the child can come back to the home, the child may live back with their dad or their grandma, some shit. This is real world. In between that, you got hip hop. And you got sex, and you got drugs, and all these things to help evade and avoid real life conversations, real life topics that need real antidotal answers right then and there. But you can't have them. The necessity's not there. I don't need you. I don't need to have this conversation with you. Let me order my DoorDash. I don't have to worry about you cooking my food. Bitch, you better not you better not touch that stove. Right? Right? You better not touch them clothes. I don't need you. And hopefully, if this thing blows over in a couple days or weeks, we can kind of phase back into a good positive standing to where we can go out and enjoy each other in company, or pop up at a family event and not look stank at each other where everybody's like, what's up with y'all? Ooh, they look like they going through something. As soon as the liquor pop out, hootie hoo. Right? It get hey, that liquor pop out, the family gathering and shit, real rap start getting spit on that microphone, don't it? The pulpit wide open. That this is the real life. This is the real world. This is why there's so many broken homes. Why we're the reigning champs in America of broken single parent homes, and the reigning champs of these quick make shop, freaking drive by, fast food menus, step parent blended family situations. And it said the average situation lasts 7 years. To date, 7 years. That's great, because the housing market said, you know what? More people want to get more studio apartments. More people want to get little condos. More people, because the family's been broken up now. You had these big single family homes, right? Now, all those things have been sold off and lost in probate and all those things, legal situations where you got to sell your home. Give give half to your spouse, whatever's left between lawyer fees and everything else, whatever, if they get alimony, if you got to pay child support. Again, this niche market is great for the judicial legislative branch of this world. This market of broken homes and blended families is great for the psychiatrists and psychologists, so they can put you on your pill popping path. This is great. It's great for low income families and low income situations. It's great. This is great. This is big money. It's big money to have you broken. Right? That's why cars are like that. They charge you for your regular warranty, your extended warranty. They want to give you all these clauses because they know your shit is going to break sooner than later, and they know that you probably ain't got the money. It's big business to have something break on you. If things worked out, so much. you know, there wouldn't be so many problems. And again, that's not good for America. We're the bestseller of sex, best consumer of energies, meats, gas, the highest divorce rates. That's a lot of volatility. That's a lot of volatility. How do we make it? How do we make it? How do we make it when everybody wants to be their own man and everybody wants to be their own woman and the woman wants to be the man and fuck, the man wants to be the woman now? How do we make it? How do we make it so when a man communicates with his wife, he doesn't sound like a goddamn barbarian? And also he doesn't sound like a pussy. How do we make it to a woman who says she wants a man in the house can understand and receive a man's tone and a man's body language? How do we get there when a man can receive his wife's sensuality and stuff without seeming like she's just a weak, frail being? How do we get there? When the stepchild tries to play the parents back and forth to one another. How do we get there? They say a family that prays together stays together. I think the word together is the key. The more things you do together, the more successful you are as a family unit. When you start finding new strings and chords and start building necessities, I think people are afraid of that. We've been this new era of lingo of you need to be independent. You need to have your own this and have your own that. You have so much of your own. It's just human nature. What I need to talk to you for? What do I need you for? If I'm so self-sufficient, our human minds don't act that way. If I have everything I need, the odds of me having to talk to you is slim to none. The odds of me having a full conversation with you are slim to none. The odds of me taking you serious when you're saying you're lacking tough titty, too bad. Too bad. Oh well. Seems like a you problem. Get your game up. Get your money up. Get everything up. If it's up, it's stuck. This is the world we live in. That word together, again, I came off the premise of a family that prays together, but doing anything together as a family opens communication. Communication opens your heart. It opens the tenderness of your heart. And it allows emotions to come in and allows you to be in their space and them to be in your space. And you automatically start to communicate and talk and transfer emotions and energy with a little more consciousness and a little more kindness per se when you do things together. How many families out there working in the yard together? How many families in the kitchen cooking together? How many families sitting down there talking about their finances together? How many families praying together? You know what I'm saying? How many families are washing the clothes and folding the clothes together? All these things seem asinine, but were basic things that held the family together 100 years ago, 200 years ago. They had to. It had to. Like, it didn't work no other way. There was no cell phones. There was no tablets. There was no internet. There was no telephones. The best thing they had some 200 years ago was the goddamn Morse code. Smoke signals and Morse code. And eventually, they had the horses and stuff running mail back and forth. You know what I'm saying? But you had to talk. And God forbid, if you talked in a healthy way, you made it through situations. You salvaged your family a little bit longer for the right reasons, not the wrong. You salvaged yourself, your own well-being as a person. Remember, because we keep claiming, we keep saying, I lost myself. I don't feel like I'm me anymore. I don't feel like I'm in a safe space anymore. I feel like I need more. I feel like I'm lacking. That's our claim to fame now. This is toxic. This is a detriment to me. I need more. I'm lacking. Because you couldn't communicate. And then you get this new inspiration, this new breath with the new man or the new woman. Or the one or the new old. Because, you know, we got a thing we like to dig back in the crates. Boy, if we would have worked this thing out 20 years ago, man, this could have been me and you, baby. I know. Remember when we used to do it on the balcony? Oh my God. I just feel like if we had to do it all over again, oh my God. I feel like if me and you would have had a baby together, I feel like, you know, we really built something special. Oh my God, there he go. I gotta go home. But I really don't want to go home. I want to stay here with you. 'Cause you make me so happy. I gotta go back home to my house and my bills and my problems and my kids. But you make me so happy. Then his phone go, brr, brr. Well, look, babe, I need you to go ahead. My wife on the phone. my old lady. But I fuck with you, man. So we're going to get together soon. And God damn, you look good. God damn, that head was crazy. No, you didn't sit. Once again, you didn't sit there and talk with a whole nother problem. Talk with your problems with a whole nother person, but it's not the one you got the problem with. You know how we talk to the the people we got the problem with. I'm so tired of this shit. I'm so tired of this shit. You don't fucking get me. I'm so tired of this. That's how we talk to each other. That's how we get the shit out. And in some people's fantasy world, I guess, you know, hopefully that'll lead up to some intense makeup sex or some shit, you know. I'm so tired of this shit. Broken home. Like an old car. You need to take your ass over to a mechanic. Hey, I know it looks like your terminals were a little dirty. Look, go ahead and turn over now. Whoom, she start up. Got a new blended family. You got a new blended family because somebody realized that you had dirty cable terminals on your battery and stuff like that. It really wasn't as bad as you thought it was. But it don't matter at this point because you got your new mechanic, you got your new friend, you got your new woman, you got your new man. They may look like they got a little bit more than what you had the last. It may not even be bigger. It might be a little cleaner. Yeah, it might be a little more financially responsible. And you riding that new wave. And that new wave, again, 1,300 new blended families a day. That new wave feels great. That new wave until that bitch get old and that wave start crashing. And your surfboard need to be waxed. Goddamn, you don't know how to wax your surfboard. You didn't realize you had your hands was pruned and split. You've been out in the water so long. You got to come out the water sometimes. You got to get your feet back acclimated to the land. You know, you got to live in the real world. You got to deal with these problems that you've been running away from, that you ran to the new person or the new old new person from. You do run. Your crew run. Right? Everybody's running. Nobody wants to deal. Nobody wants to have the hard conversation. Everybody wants high frequencies. Everybody wants dotes and accolades and pats on the back. And I am beautiful and I'm fierce and I am man and I am Tarzan. Everybody wants to live on these highs. But you always gotta have a team to keep gassing you up. That's that celebrity shit. You always gotta have people to keep gassing you. And in the celebrity world, the reality is when that person stops gassing them, they fire them right then and there. You know what? I don't feel like you're here for me. I don't feel like you're focused on me. I think I'm gonna go ahead and remove you from the situation. I want to go ahead and get you up out of here. That's how the business world, the celebrity world acts. They just go ahead and remove you. I have no necessity for you. You're not doing it for me. I need you to go. And that's unfortunately how we operate within our homes with these so-called families, with these so-called children that we're raising to be positive assets into the world that we're destroying on the basis because we won't let the man be the man. We won't let the woman be the woman. We won't open ourselves to have, challenging conversations without shit imploding and exploding, without domestic violence results. We won't do those things. We rather go talk to Tom, Dick, Harry, Jane Keisha, Marsha, all them people, before we have a simple sit down and look this person that we so-called loved at one point in time or had some kind of a tight, intimate relationship with, and say, hey, I'm hurting. Hey, shit just feel kind of different to me. Shit just feel kind of off. And people just sitting down and receiving the information, because that word, that the greatest ping pong game in a relationship is that accountability and deflecting word. Once that ball get to going back and forth across the table, that shit like Forrest Gump playing ping pong. You forget what you're doing, you forget what you're talking about, and you just need your fix, man. I need to get up out of here. I need my drinks. I need my smoke. I need my coke. I need my fuck. I need my long ride that took 2-3 days or a week to come back home. I need, Dad went out for a pack of cigarettes. Goddamn, I ain't seen him in fucking 2 years. Blended families and broken homes and blended families. It's a never ending cycle, and the institution of our homes and families has been chipped away year after year after year, man. Year after year, filling up the penitentiary system, filling up the graveyards, filling up the hospitals, and the homes are empty. Everybody else wins but the family. The real estate people win. The tax people win. The pharmaceutical people win. The judges and the lawyers, they win. The government wins, but the home suffers all the time. First and foremost. So I'll leave you with this. Again, they say the family that prays together stays together, but I think the key word is finding things to do together. When you're doing things together, it softens the heart up. It pricks the heart. It gives room for communication. It gives room for tenderness. It gives a little bit of room for honesty. Somewhere in the Bible says the truth will make you free. Blended families, broken homes. Broken homes, blended families. What side of the corner you on? If it ain't messy, it ain't me.